Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of, this is not really an edition of anything, this is not a what's on my desk, this is not a Q&A. I got an email from Avi, my CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, in regards to how to improve our YouTube channel. With a list of suggestions that's a mile long, and as the title of the video suggested, yes, it's a little bit clickbaity, but we're gonna discuss how to improve our YouTube channel. And I said to myself, wouldn't it be a good idea to actually bring in my viewers to help me answer some of the questions that I have myself after receiving Avi's email? I also brought in Avi. Avi, you guys have never met him, or maybe you've seen him somewhere. And also Ian is here, head of videography. You guys know that handsome face. So we're gonna sit here and discuss how to improve our YouTube channel. One of the things you guys always say is, why does this guy not have as many subs, and so on and so forth. And I felt like what's on this email is the tickets. And for those of you that are watching and click this video simply because it said how to get more YouTube followers, hang out. I'm sure you'll get something useful out of this. So Avi sends me an email, and there's a bunch of tips and tricks, or whatever you want to call it, that's on here. Is that what we'll call it?
No, they're not tips and tricks. They're just optimization advice. Advice.
Yeah,
Advices.
Oh, okay. Anyway, let's talk about title. Title is the first thing that came on the email, and it says, it's widely known that keyword-rich titles have little effect on your ranking. Therefore, you should aim to write this with the user experience in mind and encourage clicks. If you can include your primary keyword within your title, that's great, but don't force it. Instead, you should go for a good hook that draws in clicks, but not with a clickbait title. My first question to Avi is, you want to draw in clicks, but you don't want to do clickbait, so what do you do?
You want to name the title something that would make you want to watch the video. If you're creating something specifically about a certain topic, make sure that the title is drawing viewers in, that it's going to entice people to click that. And what you want to do is you want to try to answer a question, you want to try to create some sort of suspense with the title. You want to do something that will entertain people before, not even entertain, just engage them before they get into it.
Well, my only issue, and Ian, correct me if I'm wrong, the only issue we have, especially with Q&As, I don't script any of this stuff, so I literally go into the collection of questions I collect from Q&As and I start answering, and oftentimes, you know, question one has zero relativity to question two, and we often pick like what we feel is going to be the best question, or the question that most people would ask.
Yeah, the hook.
People Googling, can I take my watch through an x-ray machine, right? Like, people, how about that? I mean, because that's actually questions that people are Googling.
There's a website, I think it's called Ask the Public or Answer the Public, something like that, where you put in a topic. Let's say you just put in automorphic. It'll give you all the questions that show up on Google search results, like how much is an automorphic? Where can I buy an automorphic? So if we're talking about a specific topic, then we could use that tool to create a title that's a lot more popular, a lot more searchable.
But then there's a thin line between that becoming clickbait, don't you think?
No, I don't think, because you're actually answering that question. You're actually, talking about that subject during your video. You're not just saying, here's a title, has nothing to do with the content of the video, I just wanted to get you to click this.
So then, I mean, it sounds to me like this is still not something that we can, per se, nail down. This is something like, trial and error type of deal?
It's definitely trial and error. We have to test this out multiple times, but ultimately what I want to do is I want to make sure that the title is in the format of a question or an answer or a trailer to something that you yourself would, react to. So if you're looking at the title and it's not something that's like interesting, if it's just like, another question from another dude in another city, that has absolutely no draw for me whatsoever. But if it's a question about something that I might, be interested in, so let's assume again, our channel is about watches, it's about, high-end watches. We want to make sure that the title is specifically answering or enticing about whatever it is that we're going to be talking about.
Is it safe to say that by using the tool that does the search, right, what are people actually asking for, would be directly relevant to a good title, because this is what people are actually Googling? The only issue I see in that is that this is what people are Googling, but not necessarily my viewers.
So that will only work for really general topics. So for example, if you're talking about a specific model, a reference number, you're not going to find too many search results for that other than what is the price. That's the most common one. When it comes to a topic as general as luxury watches, you're going to find 1,001 different search results for what people are looking for. Where can I buy them? What can I buy? Which one's the best? What's the best investment? All that sort of crap. Forget all that. We just want to make sure that the title is in a format that would interest you. So just look at it yourself from your eyes. You are your own demographic.
So is it as far as, because again, this is the whole idea behind this video is to get the viewers to, you know, help us out sort of thing. How about over the next 3, 4, or 5 videos that we put out, you know, you guys give me a, you know, just an opinion on the title of the video. Was it enticing? Was it a good enough title in your eyes as a viewer? Because I'm not the viewer.
Yeah, how would you change the title?
Oh, how would you change the title for say? Yeah, it's a good idea. So let's move on because we have a lot of things to cover here. Description. Like the title, this has a weak link to your ranking. Your first paragraph has the strongest effect on your ranking, so try to include your target keywords early on. So from our end, we want YouTube and Google to index sort of the description that's in there with all the keywords, whether it's reference numbers for watches and so on and so forth. But my question to the viewers are, how many of you actually read the long description that we put in there? Because in that description, we try to do the best, really cater to the viewer. You know what I mean? It's not like we're just putting a bunch of keywords, oh, Audemars Piguet this, or Rolex this, and blah, 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 blah. We actually give you a short description in regards to what's going to be in the video, what to expect in the video, so that perhaps if it's not to your interest, you can skip over the video. Not that I want you to do that. But the only thing I guess we can talk about here is we can literally ask the viewers to say, guys, let me know how many of you actually read the description. Just comment below and say, I read the description of the video, or I don't read the description of the video. We'll go from there.
And what else would you like in the descriptions?
Oh, there you go. Or what else you'd like to see in the description. That's a good idea. Tags. These are like keywords, ideas, or targets. About 10 years ago, if you could find some good keywords for your tags, you could get quite far in the YouTube search results. The influence of tags on the ranking is bigger than the title of the video description, but it's still small. Tags are mainly used for relevance. This is, again, sort of like a dying breed, I guess. It used to be great. Now it's not.
YouTube used to work on tags.
If I omitted tags altogether, would that hurt my videos?
Not at all, no. I don't think it would hurt, but it definitely helps to have them, just in case somebody's specifically looking for that tag. A lot of our watch videos on the Luxury Bazaar channel, we actually use the reference number as a tag, just in case you're specifically looking for that reference number.
So then let's ask the audience this. How many of you guys have initially found me or found a particular video of mine by typing in a particular keyword, let's say whether it's in YouTube or in Google? So for example, how many of you guys type, let's say, Audemars Piguet review and landed on one of my videos? Because that's really where it would come from, right? We're on the same page here?
Yeah, we just don't use Audemars Piguet review as a tag.
Right, that's fine. But I'm saying, I'm just curious if somebody actually went into YouTube and without knowing about my channel and typed in some sort of a keyword that's watch related, like Rolex price increase or something of that nature, and ended up landing on my page. And that's really how we can figure out the relevancy of that.
And then if you're going to comment on this and you're going to write, you know, that yes, you've searched for a certain keyword, what was it about Roman's thumbnail or title or video?
Well, we're going to get to that. We got that in your list. So captions. I've already written about the importance of videos with subtitles, but we're actually quite lucky. Whenever you upload content to YouTube, they can create the captions for you. This is their way of knowing what your content is all about. In most cases, the caption is about 90 to 95% accurate, but the software can struggle if you have an accent that isn't from California, New York, or London. Me being an immigrant, a Russian immigrant, that I don't really have a heavy accent, but sometimes I do mess words up and it often makes fun of me. I'm sure you guys have seen that once or twice. To get around this, you can either make your own captions manually or just edit the YouTube transcript. What are we doing on that?
We hire freelancers to transcribe every single video. The problem is going back to, you know, the tons of videos that we have is going to take some time, but it's in the process. It's going to be done soon.
How long?
If everything goes well, it'll be about 2 months. And the reason we don't have multiple people doing it is I'm also, you know, budget conscious and went with some of the cheaper yet best rated guys. So I'm not trying to overwhelm everybody and have them doing the same thing and overcharging us.
The other important thing about top captions is the fact that it goes back to tags, where whatever is the caption, you can search for that as well. And it comes back to people finding your video.
I wonder if we should do the captions in multiple languages. You know, if we have a big viewership from a certain country or that speaks a certain language.
Well, that's something you can...
That's a good idea.
We have a guy that came here from Poland, so I know we have a viewership in Europe. But the people that are viewing my channel from overseas, regardless of where they're from, they obviously are pretty fluent in English. Although I've seen a lot of comments, people saying, Roman, can you please slow down? Because English is my second language, I'm having a hard time.
I mean, that would be a huge project to undertake to get, you know, them translated into, let's assume, you know, 3, 4 other languages. That would be a big project. I don't know if it'd be worthwhile. But we could consider. We will take a look at the YouTube analytics and see if it makes sense to at least try it out and see what, you know.
He sounds so official. We'll have a look at it.
We'll take a look at it.
We'll take a look at the YouTube.
We'll run the numbers.
Anyway, playlists. You may have seen these before, and they're a great way to sort your content. There are strong ways in which you can use playlists to increase your video views and session times. Of course, if you're making it easy for people to find content similar to what they've watched, they're more likely to keep watching. What we have seen is that a well-optimized title for your playlist paired with a good description can pass on a lot of relevance to videos with the playlist. Now, I know our playlist descriptions are pretty good. The first thing that comes to mind is to say, look, how about removing all the playlists and trying to figure out, of course, my OCD is telling me never to remove it. What do you think?
Absolutely.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I honestly like the way our channel is set up. Otherwise, it'll just be a jungle of back and forth between what's my desk, Q&A, but the way we have it set up now is pretty efficient.
I often find myself, I guess, somewhat anxious in regards to, well, maybe I should have this playlist first, or I should have this playlist second. Especially with, like, I do a kick-ass collab, like we did with producer Michael, which obviously brought a lot of subscribers. You know, my first intent was, let me move off this playlist so people see that video first. But I also, myself, when I go onto YouTube and I go to some of the guys that I watch, I to get the latest video, I just click on the videos thing and I look at the latest video there. Because my only fear is that the way we have it set up is that, for example, everybody knows Q&A comes out on Tuesday, right? But the Q&A playlist is down on the bottom, and when you log on to my channel, you don't necessarily see the latest video first.
The reason we can't, get rid of them, I guess the main reason, if we did videos about the same exact topic every single time, every video was, fashion bloggers, beauty bloggers, every single one is makeup overhaul or whatever they call it, where they, get a box of stuff and they try it on.
I'm not doing makeup videos, I know they get a lot of clicks, but I'm not doing
They get a ton of clicks.
Maybe.
If every single one was the same, then it would be cool. We wouldn't even need playlists, But since you're mixing different collaborations, you're mixing different shows, you're mixing vlog, all that stuff. You don't want to go from a what's on my desk to a Bahamas trip to a collaboration with somebody. You want to stick, at least I assume people watching a certain video want to stick with that theme until they decide, okay, let me check out what else he has.
Next thing you put on here was publish time. As I mentioned before, view velocity is a big metric YouTube uses when ranking your content. Therefore, it's important to publish your video at a time when you can get the best view velocity. That first hour is crucial, so you need to post at a time when people will most likely watch and engage with your content. If you have a regular upload time, keeping that consistency is key to having a good view velocity. People come to your channel in anticipation of seeing new content. Well, this is where, it's a struggle between getting the content done on time and post. So you guys know I'll post every Tuesday and every Thursday. Sometimes I post something in between. Sometimes I may not get out a Q&A on a Tuesday, but we'll post a video on a Tuesday that's something else. Like, for example, producer Michael video aired on Tuesday instead of the Q&A, right? Or sometimes we'll post my vlogs instead of the what's on my desk, just sort of to break up the monotony, right? How do you gauge the perfect time to post? And this is a question really to you guys, because I want to know, and literally comment below with a time and say, look, I think for me, and I'm not talking about generally, I'm you specifically, single user, what would be the optimal time for me to post a video for you to watch? And I know you guys are in different time zones, so if you're in the US time zone, just post the time. If you're in a different time zone, just post the time zone that you're in. And then what I will do, Ian, maybe get the the common denominator between all the times and try to post it by that time.
Yeah, you try that.
And then that is if I tape in time for you to actually edit this stuff and put it out. That's another thing, is that me and always struggle, and sometimes he'll have 3 or 4 videos in advance that he can cut and post in time, but then sometimes I go to a trade show and all of a sudden I'm behind, and you don't know how many times I've taped a video on a Tuesday morning that he posted Tuesday afternoon, right? I mean, that happens too. But again, guys, with your help, perhaps we can figure out that time and try to stick to that schedule. And I know I can't please everyone, especially considering you guys are in different time zones and things of that nature, but in the very least, if I can get the majority of you happy with a time that we post these videos, then we will do it that way. And I think, Avi, you had some questions to the viewers in regards to specific times.
Well, not, to knock you or anything.
You can knock with it. Okay.
It's very unlikely
that,
it's unlikely that people are just like sitting there in anticipation, like, I can't wait, like almost 11 o'clock.
Really? I thought that was the case.
So I don't know if it's that important, to the minute, but if we stick to the same, which we typically do, we stick to the same time.
No, we stick to the same day.
We never know. We don't publish at night. We don't publish in the evening. They're all within the morning-ish, noon-ish time period. Now, that whole producer Michael situation, he publishes at midnight.
Hold on, he publishes at midnight California time, which is 3 a.m.
3 a.m. our time. I'm wondering why. I mean, has he done some research that we're not aware of? Is that, if you Google best time to publish on YouTube, does it say, 3 a.m., Eastern or midnight, Pacific?
Well, let's see. Best time to publish a video on YouTube. In general, the best time to upload your video on YouTube, I don't know who they are, but is between 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern, the most densely populated internet active time zones.
Which makes sense. That's like, social media. Tuesdays are the best for social media. Are they also the best for YouTube? It's something that we never really looked at because we never paid that much attention to YouTube.
So why don't we do this? Let's take what the viewers will comment below and pair that up with your research and see, what we come up with.
Or we just say we publish at 11 every day and who gives a
Oh, we can do that. Okay, and then it talks about view velocity. This happens within the first hour and the first 24 hours after a video is published. The more views you get during these crucial periods of time, the better your view velocity. This is a big factor for appearing in the trending section on the homepage. We've appeared. One video has appeared on the trending section, right? It was the Rolex video.
Yeah,
right?
that got us the most.
And that got us the most. That's when we jumped from I had 4,000 subscribers at the time, and we jumped it almost doubled. I feel like, right?
Can you imagine if we could do that 1 out of every 10 videos?
Okay, so this will bring me back to the audience to say that, at the end, every single YouTuber says the same: like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notifications button. Well, the bell notifications buttons will let you know that, hey, my video has posted. So what you're telling me is that every single one of my viewers, if they had the bell turned on, turn on the bell. If they had the bell turned on and the minute it popped up, they actually viewed my video. I know that's not feasible. People are busy. They're not going to jump in right away when I watch my video. But hypothetically, if every single person, as soon as the video came out, watched it within the first hour, that would do wonders?
Absolutely. YouTube notices that a certain video is published and suddenly a bunch of people are watching it, a bunch of people are sharing it, people are drawing in people from outside of YouTube to watch it. It's going to increase our so-called rankings within YouTube and hopefully land us on the trending page.
Okay. So guys, I don't know, I know this video is a little too late to ask, but maybe in the following video after this, if you have the bell notification turned on, do me a favor and watch one of my videos within the first hour it comes out, and we can track that velocity, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thumbnail. This is to Ian. This is arguably the biggest factor for success of a video. When I say this, the response I often get is, how can a thumbnail influence ranking? Or that makes no sense. This is down to a thing called collaborative filtering. This is a way in which YouTube will group people based on a few things. This includes age, gender, location, watch history, and much more. What the hell does the thumbnail have to do with that?
Not much.
Yeah, it's random.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is that?
I don't think that YouTube has an artificial intelligence, robot scanning all the thumbnails. It might. I mean, they're smart enough to do it.
I mean, first of all, question to you guys. Ian is the single maker of these thumbnails. He's the one that came up with these crazy ways to put me into wigs and different outfits and on bodies of probably over 100 different people at this point. You told me something earlier about how these thumbnails actually, you see them working.
Yeah. So for instance, this one video we did, I did the title of the thumbnail differently than the title of the video itself. More people commented about the title of the thumbnail than they did about the title of the video. So that proved to me that it actually does work.
Well, I also know you use the thumbnail because you can only fit so much into the title. For Q&As, you can put a couple of the questions in the title, then you sort of put the rest in a thumbnail.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so guys,
It's
question to you is, as far as thumbnails are concerned, A, do you like our thumbnails? Do you think Ian is doing a good job? He doesn't get offended easily, so if you think it absolutely sucks, say so. If you like the thumbnails, let us know as well, or what you may want to change or may want to see more of in the
I just want to know if they grab your attention. If you're looking through videos and on the right side you have coming up next or whatever that thing. If the thumbnails actually strike you in any way, if they make you want to click, that's the biggest indicator that they're working.
Okay, now in here you put watch time. Watch time is considered to be the most reliable thing to look at, and the biggest indicator of quality is also the hardest metric to manipulate. Well, that's pretty obvious. I get it that the more people watch, the better. So
the longer they watch.
The longer.
Yeah.
Well, for a video to get a view, it has to be watched 70%, right? 70% of the video has to be viewed. I have some breakout videos that have a lot more views than, let's say, the number of subscribers I have. But for the most part, we've been sitting at pretty much that 50% mark versus my subscribers, right? Right now, we kind of jumped up a little bit due to the collab we did, but for the most part, at the time I had 10,000 subscribers, it did average out to just under 50% of the videos. So why did you put this in here, Rav?
Because we want to get people to watch the videos longer.
Yeah,
so this is the conversation about whether, if we're doing a Q&A, if we want to put, the best questions or the most, interesting ones, the most engaging ones at the end instead of answering them right away and you dropping off the video and not watching anymore. So YouTube's goal is to keep people on YouTube. The longer you're on YouTube, the more ads you see, the more likely you are to click the video.
So should this, so should this bring up the question of how are you guys with the length of the videos? I mean, because...
No, that's not really, I don't think that's up to the viewers, the length. Ultimately, we just want to be able to create content that is interesting enough for you to watch long enough. That's not, okay, this was boring, I'm going to move on. So I guess the idea is to create longer content that's not boring and ultimately, have a storyline to it where the I guess the resolution or whatever it's called. I mean, it's not the climax really, but I guess the
climax really up. What is that called in movie terms, Ian?
Yeah, it is the climax. Actually,
that is the climax.
I mean,
okay. So I know where he's going with it. You're saying that treat every video as you would any video production. Now our vlogs are done this way because our vlogs are storyboarded, right? So before I go somewhere,
because it's all scripted.
No, it isn't real. It's not scripted, unfortunately, but
actors,
unfortunately, but and nor do I hire any actors. But what I'm saying is this: in a Q&A, I don't prepare for Q&As. I don't prepare for what's on my desk. Literally have stuff comes across my desk. I look at it, I talk about it, I tie it all in. Sometimes it ties into a theme, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'll specifically pick certain watches to fit a certain criteria, like if I'm doing a history of a brand. With Q&A, I literally have a Word document to which I paste all these things. I open it up, I read it, and I answer off the top of my head. So I can't have, a hanger or a cliffhanger or a climax and none of that stuff.
But we're saying pick the best questions and save them for the end.
Who's to say which is the best question?
These need production. Somebody needs to sit down and figure out, okay, you're going to answer these 5 questions today and in this order.
Yeah. But the problem is that I'm the only one, for the most part, that knows the answer to those questions, unless you go to
we don't need the answers. We just need to know which one is more interesting.
So you're saying this. Before I shoot the Q&A, and I'm going to do it after this video, I'm going to shoot a Q&A. I'll open up my Word document. I'll say, okay, I'm going to answer 5 of these questions. You guys are going to tell me which one is more, or I have to figure out which one is more.
Well, think about it like this. Does that, movement, blah, 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 or which watch is the best investment? Now, which is the more interesting question?
Well, depends on who you ask. I mean,
I get it. Nobody that jerks off the movement.
So what you're telling me is
you don't know that. I guess there's a lot of freaks on this panel.
Well, I kind of do that with the what's on my desk. I kind of do this with the watches. If I have $1 million watch and a $10,000 watch, and so I'll usually save the best for last.
Do the same thing with Q&A. I mean, again, the goal is not just to have that climax. It's to get people to watch throughout.
Okay, here's some geeky stuff that you need to. Both of you need to reiterate on. Session starts. If you bring someone from somewhere else onto YouTube, you started a session. By doing this, you're bringing more people to the advertiser, helping you to make more money. Likewise, if your video causes somebody to leave YouTube, this will be seen as a bad thing.
Well, this was what we were talking about a little bit ago, about keeping people on the channel, watch times, view times, just trying to make sure that you don't end up elsewhere. Not the same as like going to your website right afterwards, because that'll just open up in a different window. No, but just to keep people on YouTube, because that's what it's all.
Okay, so if I asked my viewers, guys, after you finish watching my video, don't close the browser, just kind of hang out or go to a different video, or. The more
important part here would be somebody, and I'm assuming YouTube's algorithm accounts for this. If you're on YouTube and you click on one video and you're watching it, then you click on another video and you're watching it, it gives some sort of a ranking. The important part here is not just leaving YouTube, but it's coming onto YouTube.
No, you didn't just say that. I don't know why I brought the camera. My CMO's got the dirtiest mind in all of the internet.
Sorry. So
you said it's not about coming on. Oh my god!
All right, so like I said before, if you're on YouTube and you're watching one video and then you go on and you watch another video, there's a certain factor of ranking to those videos. But if we brought a user or a viewer outside of YouTube, so you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you click the link, you end up on YouTube, and you just spend 30 minutes watching a video, I assume that YouTube's algorithm assigns a lot more power or strength to that video. Like, hey, that video just brought somebody from outside onto our network, onto our platform, and they spent 30 minutes there. Can you imagine how many ads or opportunities we had in the 30 minutes that person was here? So I think
stop for a second. So let's say, because we share the links to my video, like I put it on my Instagram stories sometimes, we put it on the Facebook page, you stick it in an email oftentimes to people. So if there's a link to YouTube on Facebook that somebody clicks it, you saying that's the same?
What do you mean? Yeah, absolutely.
So I share my video, and rather than people going directly to my channel and looking at the latest video, they go to my Facebook page, click it there, and then come onto YouTube.
We don't want, again, and I assume that I'm not a programmer, I don't know how YouTube's algorithm works, but I assume if you're already, somebody that's subscribed to your channel and watching videos, it has less, juice than a brand new user that's not subscribed, that came off of somewhere, completely separate.
Plus the analytics, you can tell
So
where.
I mean, this actually brings into the next point that you put on here: social signals. If my viewers were to watch my video and then not leave YouTube and continue doing whatever it is, or just keeping the window open or something else, that's a big deal for me.
Yeah,
so when you guys watch my video, don't close the browser.
I mean, social signals here, this is within YouTube itself. Engagement, comments, likes on the video. I'm talking about bringing people from outside of YouTube on.
Well, we're going to talk about this in a minute because I see this right down the list. So let's just stop with session starts. Let's leave it at this. Obviously, coming in from the outside to YouTube to watch some of my videos is great. And then also sticking around YouTube once the video is done, I think will help. Social signals, this is YouTube specific, right? So this is what you're talking about. Any kind of engagement, whether it be likes, dislikes, comments, shares, and more. The more people engage, probably the better.
So you have a really good engagement rate on your videos.
Right, I do get a lot of comments because I answer those. But the problem is that I'm getting to a point where I have so many subscribers, I'm so behind. The simple thank yous that I put on the comments when people give me a compliment, it's already becoming an issue for me because it can take me up to 5 hours a week just to reply to every comment.
So we're gonna need to hire a small army of people.
No, I don't want to hire anybody to answer my comments. I'm just gonna, at some point, I'm gonna simply stop because there's just not enough hours in the day for me to be able to
He's gonna need a Roman army.
Yeah, Roman army. I see what you did there.
You might want to outsource that because it's a nice touch if you commented on somebody's video.
No, but at the same token, I'm always been personal on my videos. Like I really know my subscribers by name or by their handle, I should say. And with that said, the reason I know this is because I'm in the comments. What I might do is I might respond to comments that
are specific.
Rather than if somebody says great job, I won't say oh thank you or thank you for watching because it becomes generic after a while anyway. Now shares are extremely important because now I always tell you this at the end of every video, guys: like, share, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends because this is how my channel grows, right? And it's the truth. Let's do an experiment. This very video. Everybody that's watching this, not everybody that watches my videos comments, right? So if I get 5,000 views, I'll get about 500 comments, right? About 10%. Sometimes it's even more, depending on the video, right? If I really do a kick-ass job, you guys have a lot more comments, right? But every single one of you, and I'm hoping that every single one of my subscribers sees this video, do me a favor, comment anything below, just like a thumbs up or, hey, I watched the video, oh, this video is great. Something, doesn't matter what you comment, but do comment. So rather than just watching it, hit the like button actually this time, and actually comment something, and we'll see how this video ranks after the fact. It'll be a pretty good indicator. If every one of my subscribers, or anybody that is watching this video right now, actually comments something and hits the like button, it doesn't matter what you put on there.
Yeah, we discussed a lot.
We can certainly use this as a metric. I ask you this in every video, but this is very important. Comment something in this video and hit the like button in this video, just so we can see how well it does. And there's a few more things, and we're done. Create longer videos with a tease in the beginning, good content in the middle, and the best content at the end. Keep users watching until the end. We kind of discussed this where we talked about the cliffhanger and the climax and all those other dirty things, right? Create longer videos. This is a question to you guys again because we've done this before. I've done much longer Q&As and I've done much longer videos, and I've actually seen people sit through longer videos, but some people were, there was no rhyme or reason. Some longer videos didn't get as many views. Some longer videos got a lot of views. I don't know if it was because of the topics. So my question to you, my viewers, I don't care about everybody else in the YouTube space. For now, I'm specifically talking to you guys. what do you feel is the threshold? Because for Q&As, I can make every Q&A an hour long. I have enough questions to hang myself with. In fact, I don't have enough time to answer all the questions you guys are asking me already. So, you know, if I did an hour, if my Q&A was an hour long, would you actually sit through that hour long video? And that is really the question. Because on an average, my Q&As are about, you know, they've been up to 25 minutes.
I have an idea. So next time we do a Rolex price, you know, check or a Richard Mille video, that one make an hour. You know, the next time you're doing, you know, Jaeger videos, make them 10 minutes.
I think he's thrashing on the Jaegers. Because see, the problem with my CMO is my CMO knows what gets most clicks, and you guys know me. I'm not the guy to sit there and do a Rolex video every week that's going to get a gazillion clicks. And
if it works, keep doing it.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I mean, I do my fair share of videos that would be deemed more popular. I understand that a video on a bunch of Richard Milles will probably get more clicks today versus a Jaeger video. But I'm also concerned about the guy that doesn't want to watch the same over and over and over. Because anybody that especially is not in the business, that have a watch channel, that's all they do is they talk about Hulk versus the Batman. They talk about, you know, stainless steel price increase or shortage. I did do a couple of those videos, and they did get a lot of clicks, but that's not something I want to do week in, week out. So I want to say, in general, if I was to continue the format that I have, Q&As, what's on my desk, would you guys sit through, you know, longer than 20 to 25 minutes of that? Because a lot of people, they look at the video and say, oh, this is an hour long. And they're like, I don't know if I want to sit. I don't have time to watch this right now. I'm one of those people, right? If I see an hour-long video, it's something I'm going to save for later when I'm in bed or something, you know, or if I ever come back to it. Then again, we did a video with Watchbox. It was a live stream, right? It was almost an hour long. That got 21,000 views.
But they have more subscribers.
Yeah, but they beat the crap out of the rest of
21,000 people sat through that video.
But think about this as well. Like, one of the longest videos we have is about the podcast, where you talked about your life. I thought it was an interesting story, but it only has 2,000 views on it.
It's not, because it's not entertaining. You're sitting there and talking about something that he's talked about numerous times.
Okay, that's true.
Okay.
All right,
But hold on, going back to social signals, I had an idea. If we're going to ask everybody to comment or share or like, why don't we give something away?
Why not?
Now, you guys know I don't do the cheesy giveaways. Oh, like, share, subscribe, and I'll give you something for free. So what do you want to do?
I want to give something away. I mean, we're asking people to comment. We're asking them to help us test this theory. So let's pick one random commenter and send them something nice.
Okay, so guys.
Sounds fair.
So go back. So we're going back to the last thing that we discussed, social signals. So I asked you guys to comment anything. Good job, whatever you want to comment, and hit the like button so I can get hopefully as many comments and likes as the views on this video or the subscribers that I have, and we'll send you a nice gift. We'll randomly, like, how are you going to do that?
Random. I'm going to.
Do you have like a software?
Yeah. You put in, you know.
So you've done these cheesy giveaways before.
Numerous times.
I see. Guys, don't get used to this. I will not do these cheesy giveaways. I would much rather give away something nice like the veteran I gave a Rolex to. Than to do these cheesy giveaways, but you're right. We are asking him to. This is an experiment for us, more or less. So
we'll give away a veteran.
All right, we'll give something nice away. I promise you. All right, I'll handpick the gift myself. Anyway, next, include more videos in emails and maybe even on the site.
So we started putting the videos on the site itself. So the last video you did of history of Audemars Piguet is now going in the Audemars Piguet brand page on the website. The office tour is an About Us. You know, we're going to try to make people feel a little bit more comfortable while they're on our site by seeing who you are, who we are, what the place looks like. It's funny.
So let me ask you a question. Me getting trashed in Bahamas for
we're not
Lawrence's
putting that
40th birthday
That's the return policy.
As well as the tequila party for Joe's birthday. Is that going on the website?
Tequila con sagrita, motherfucker.
That's going to be customer service.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, our customer service department is now on vacation.
And then you have a sizzler of the tequila shot. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So my phone rang today and I thought it was somebody calling from inside the office. So I picked it up. I'm just like, yeah. And the woman's like, is this Luxury Bazaar? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I must have picked up the wrong line. She's like, yeah, I'm trying to buy this bracelet. I just want to know, how long have you guys been in business? You know, are you a real company? You know, so these videos can really help, you know, make people feel more comfortable. And at the same time, obviously get more of those, you know, outsiders onto YouTube watching your video, which will boost us.
Oh, that's right, because if people look at the video on our website and go to my YouTube channel, that
Correct.
YouTube will consider that outside traffic going in.
Absolutely.
Okay. I know you've included videos and emails.
Yes.
Do you have the matrix? Have you done the matrix of how many clicks we're actually getting?
We have the analytics. Yeah, we actually get a pretty good number. I mean, based on open rate, we have a great open rate, and we have a really good click rate. The videos themselves are at the bottom, so only our true, die-hard fans that actually scroll through the entire email make it down there. But so far, we have about a 4% click rate on our videos in those emails.
That's great.
Which is, it really is good. And that's 4% of the people that receive the emails.
Okay. Number 3, and I guess this is a technical term, Avi. Share the shit out of the video as soon as it's published. Get others to share it and really push it. So as soon as it's published, it goes back to that first hour, right? Or 24 hours, I guess was important.
So this is where we could use our friends. We could use people, that work here. We could use people in the industry. If we can support each other now.
Or we can just ask my viewers to say, guys, share it on your social media. Because everybody and their mother has Facebook. If you got YouTube, odds are you got Facebook and Twitter or whatever it might be. So by sharing it is... Now, this does two things.
Sharing is caring.
Seriously, guys.
The guys on YouTube that buy, subscribers, they also...
I didn't even know you can buy subscribers.
You can buy anything if you pay the right price.
How do you buy subscribers on YouTube, though? I can see how to do it on Instagram. They have these bots and stuff.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah, it's bots.
But they have these groups. Like, so for example, Instagram has them, YouTube has them, Facebook has them, where let's say there's 100 different players in this group and they're like, hey, I just put up a video, everybody go. So constantly, all day long, people are putting up, whatever post they just put, and everybody in that group supports each other and just like go and they click and comment and share.
You know what? I had a couple of DMs about that. Join our group. Is that what that's about?
Yeah.
So these are actually real people, but they...
What are they called? Like pods? I think they're called pods.
I know what you're talking about because I had somebody on Instagram say, yeah, we're part of this luxury group. You like our and comment on our post, we'll do the same thing on yours. I delete those. I mean, that's...
They have the same thing for YouTube that, anywhere.
Well, we don't want to do that.
We don't want the fake stuff.
I don't never wanted fake subscribers. Being rich and being popular on Instagram is like being rich in Monopoly, something like that, right? So what I want to do is I want to ask my subscribers to, again, this particular video, let's do an experiment. If you guys are already going to like and comment on this video for a free giveaway that Ivy just came up with, why don't you also do me a favor and share the video, and we'll see, because we can track all the analytics.
We can track everything.
So we can track all that onto this video. Okay.
We don't often, but we can.
So share the out of our video, as Ivy put. Last but not least, ask the viewers to comment on the videos with questions, answers, ideas for contests. For example, spell my name out with one letter per comment. The first person to complete it without it being interrupted by another comment wins a free blah, blah, blah. That post got over 1,200 comments. I am not going to do that shit. That is so corny. Avi.
We have to come up with something not corny, but something that makes it fun. I mean, I think contests are great. Not just, somebody can win something, but as a show of appreciation. Hey, you're a subscriber, you're watching, you're commenting. I'm just randomly going to pick somebody and I'm going to hook you up with something. I mean,
so can we do this in a non-corny way? Because what my whole thing is I see these contests on Instagram, on Twitter, or whatever it is, where people say, okay,
tag this, like that.
Tag this, like my page, subscribe to my email list, blah, 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 and I'll, for a chance to win, something, right?
No,
I understand that if I put up a Rolex tomorrow and say, oh, guys, like, share, subscribe, comment, invite 50,000 of your friends, and then call your mother-in-law and tell me about my channel, I understand I'm going to get it. But my only concern was, and I always said this in my videos, is because when people ask me, why do I not have more subscribers, it's because I don't do those things. I don't do the bots or whatever it might be, right, that helps your channel grow, because I want my audience to be the genuine audience, an audience that's actually interested in what I have to say, interested in the product that I sell. Again, I didn't open up this YouTube channel to sell stuff, even though I know Ivy is happy it does. We just about every week, 5 times
justifies paying for it.
Exactly. It justifies paying for it.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have a channel if there was no purpose for it other than to get your face on YouTube.
Excuse me. Keep me employed, guys.
Hold on. What about my narcissistic personality? I love to hear myself talk. So, but the bottom line is I said it every time, and I said it multiple times, is that the channel's purpose is not to sell a product. The channel's purpose is to educate, and this is what I do because I have the knowledge, and also a sneak peek into my life, the life of my company. So,
I don't want to do anything gimmicky, but I do want to have, again, just something that we can kind of. I don't want to call it give back because it's not like a charity, but some way to make our viewers, commenters, subscribers, feel appreciated. Like, hey, we're going to give something away to just some random if you do this, or even if you don't do this. It doesn't.
Okay, so here's a question. the book, the Mandani book in which I wrote the preface, right? It's a great book. That's $5,000 that book is or something like that. It's expensive, right? Let's say I decide tomorrow I'm going to give away one of these books. What can I ask of my viewers that's not going to make it look corny, not for and also not to attract subscribers, only those that are going to subscribe just to enter the contest and then never watch my content. Because what I don't want is, and I'm not going to mention the channel's names, but I see a lot of the channels, they have 100,000 subscribers, yet their views on their videos are 5,000, much like mine, while I only have 50.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about, a new series, like introducing a new series. We've been throwing around some ideas. What if, we lay these ideas out right now? We say, okay, here are some ideas. Do you want to see a show about this? Comment your, thoughts, and one lucky commenter is going to receive this gift. It's answering a question for us. It's helping us choose the path that we're.
See, I like where you're going with this, because I'm not enticing people to say, oh, tag 50,000 of your closest friends. I'm simply pitching my viewers to be more involved.
Yes. Let them build your channel. But you're asking them for something. Give me your advice, give me your help, give me your thought. And because of that, as a thank you, I'm just going to give something away to somebody. It might not be you, it might be the guy that commented right after you, but luck of the draw.
Guys, you let me know what you think about this. I mean, I've always stayed away from that corny type of stuff, but the way I think the way Avi is putting this, and Ian in the back nodding his head, is that it doesn't sound as corny. I've already asked people to share my videos. I do it in every single video, and that helps my channel grow. I've asked them to like, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things. This video is going to be a great experience if you guys will obviously help me out and comment and actually share and actually hit the like button. Every single one of you that watches this, don't be lazy, just actually do it. We'll see the metrics on this video, and we'll see how well that actually works and test out our theory real live, because you can read all this crap on the internet, what you should do for your YouTube channel. You can listen to your CMO suggestions, which come in form of an email, but only a real life test such as this would work. So why don't we do this? I'm going to wrap this video up by once again reiterating what we want our viewers to do. On this very video, we want everybody that watches, we want them to hit the like button. We want them to share on their social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or whatever it might be. We want them to comment anything. It doesn't matter what it is, just as long as we want it. The goal is to get as many comments and likes as we do get views for this video, right? So if that happens, we can easily then go back and test. And then we'll do a follow-up video, because I like these type of videos. I think this is a breath of fresh air based on some of the other content. I know it's not very watch related.
It's authentic.
But this is the kind of conversations we have internally on a weekly basis, whether it's with my CMO in regards to marketing, whether it's with Vlad, my CEO, in regards to certain things within the company, whether it's future video productions with Ian, along with a couple of other guys. So maybe also let me know if you want to see more of these type of videos where it's really not watch related, it's more business related, but something that actually involves you, the viewer, and potentially the customer, to see how we can improve on things. And I think this will be healthy. And as always, guys, well, this time it's not as always. This time we demand to please like, share, and subscribe, and do all those wonderful things that help this channel grow. And we'll see you guys next week for more watch reviews and other videos.